woo, buddy, Eagles got some problems. What's good? Today I'll be talking about Atlanta Falcons versus Eagles. How the Eagles just choked, like they choked bad, buddy. Like they were up, they're up a minute, you know what I'm saying, and then next thing you know, they let Kirk Cousins in there. People really down on Kirk Cousins. This man, don't forget Kirk Cousins' peak years. To be honest, I believe Kirk Cousins' peak years was when he was on the Minnesota Vikings. That's just for me. I know he played for other teams out there. But he's still a great quarterback. He's an older dude. They have Penix right there. As soon as Kirk Cousins does horrible like Bryce Young, they have a backup quarterback, Penix, right there to take. And he's young, got drafted this year in the first round. But Kirk Cousins did his thing. I got my iPad right here looking at stats, all right. Jalen Hurts, he had 183 yards and 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley, it was a play that Saquon Barkley should have made and that could have sold quote unquote sold the game. Like Jalen Hurts threw the pass to Saquon, he dropped it. Like, come on, bro. Saquon, you got one of the strongest dudes, one of the best, players in the league right now, and you can't catch that, bro. You're not Tom Brady. Like, you're a very athletic player, and I was surprising that he dropped that. But they say he had 95 yards rushing. He had 0 touchdowns. I thought he had a touchdown. He had 0 touchdowns. That's crazy. But those two guys, they lead, you know what I'm saying? They lead this team to success. And they didn't do anything, but they did something, but it didn't like go all the way. The final score was 22-21, bro. They lost by 1 point. I will show y'all the clips and everything, but copyright of YouTube guidelines is crazy. Okay, and to be honest, in the next months and years, it's gonna go up, and you can't post nothing, bro. So I'm trying to be safe. This is my content, so they can't put no copyright stuff. So I ain't doing that. But we just talking about the game. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, they're one of the best duos. What I like about them, even though they lost, I like how they work. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, they're still trying to figure out what can happen, what can work. Derrick Henry, the first game, they should have won against the Chiefs, but Derrick Henry didn't have the biggest game. He didn't even have, he had a touchdown, but he didn't have like the big running game and everything. He's a big guy, even though when he looks like he's going slow, he's going fast because he's this big guy. But that's a team that's still trying to figure out what they need to do. Eagles, they should have won that game. They get choked, but they know what they got to do. They have no problems with that. They lost by 1 point. That's just on them. But Kirk Cousins, let me look at the stats for him, bro. Well, Kirk Cousins has 241 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, buddy. Like, this guy is a tough breed. Like, they forget how tough this guy is a tough quarterback. Like, he's just not a quarterback that was, he's good for this minute. He's always been, to me, to be honest, is a good quarterback. He knows how to throw. He's not a fast quarterback that can avoid the, sacks and everything, but he's a quarterback that can pass the ball, knows when to do stuff right, pass the ball, knows how to audible stuff, changing the run plays. Like, he's a smart quarterback. And when I heard that he was going to the Falcons, I was like, oh, yeah. And then next thing you know, they get the Penix. I was like, hey, yeah, why did they get Penix for? They got Kirk Cousins. I know he's gotten older, but still, that's kind of... It gave me Russell Wilson and Justin Fields types, but hey. To be honest, are they 2-0, 1-1? I haven't looked at them yet, really. I know they won their first game against the Falcons, I believe. But Kirk Cousins, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, pretty tough. The running back Robinson, whatever you call his name, he had 97 yards, 14 carries. If you get to almost 100 yards and you win the game and you get those first downs, you don't have the biggest runs, but you get the first downs, hey, that's good enough for me, bro. That's all the job you gotta do. You gotta do your job, run the ball, make sure you don't fumble, and just do your job, bro. Like, it's easy. But Saquon and Jalen Hurts, they're a great duo. The Eagles are great. They lost, Kelsey. Their censor is a big loss, but they still have, things. They still have Skinny Batman. And speaking of Skinny Batman, where has he been? Well, Skinny Batman, he had 76 yards, a touchdown. I keep forgetting about him, bro. The guy that came from Alabama. A lot of people doubted him because he was skinny and everything, but he still had the skills. He had 76 yards, 7 receptions. I mean, you gotta just keep doing your thing. I mean, you're gonna lose. People get too riled up talking about Eagles lost a game or one of the best teams lost a game. Just cause the Ravens are 0-2 does not mean they're not going to playoffs, bro. They can change this up real quick, and each game they played was close. They should have won the first one. Should have won the second one. I don't even know who they played the second game. I know the first game they played the Chiefs. Second game, I don't know who they played, but I know they should have won. I mean, Lamar Jackson is an MVP type, and he can't freaking just win a game. Like, is he the coaching, the play calls? That's another thing. For these coaches, the play calls I see, that's for college and NFL. It's retarded. Like, it's third. It's okay. Let's do second and two, or second and three. They pass the ball, try to do a play action. Okay, fine. And then it's third and 4. They try to pass it, run the ball. Like, first, that's why I like to run the ball the second down, and even it's second and short, because that gets your running game, more aggressive, more involved. And people try to pass the ball too early, then it's getting picked. But I mean, this is the play calls and everything. These coaches, great coaches. I don't know how sometimes they get their jobs and everything. I mean, it looks like sometimes they get applied for jobs and everything like that. I mean, I don't know. But for the Eagles, they're good. I'm not an Eagles fan, neither a Cowboys fan. I made that video yesterday. Funny. But I support, great caliber guys, like Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, and humble guys like that. I just need somebody, some team, somewhere to beat the Kansas City freaking Chiefs. Taylor Swift gotta go, Patrick Mahomes gotta go, and Travis Kelce gotta go. I'm about sick of it. Like, it's down bad, buddy. Like, it gives me PTSD, bro. Last year was bad, and I was freaking pissed about that. But this year, if they get a 3, oh my gosh, okay. I didn't even, the Bengals should have won that game, but they called a PI and retarded. I won't react to it, but copyright. But just like, but if they win again, I know the NFL is rigged, okay. The NFL was almost really that close to being rigged. I almost have proof, but if they win again and stuff like that, it's rigged, okay. Like, they're gonna have refs tackling freaking Lamar Jackson in the AFC freaking playoffs. But anyway, that is it for this video. Did not trying to make this video long. I was just trying to talk about the Eagles and the Falcons game. But that is it for this video. Like, subscribe, man, I'm out.